friends. Today on this live, we are going to answer the question, are you a trusted advisor or are you a freelancer? Which one are you? All right. Now, if you can hear me, everything's good and you're excited to be here, give me a thumbs up. I love it. Also, before I forget, I have a webinar coming up. Go to elearningsecrets.com and register. Now, okay. Today's session is a little special because I got a question from one of my podcast subscribers. And on my podcast, I talk about what I talk about in these lives, except sometimes a little more deeply. There's a bit more personal stuff in there. But basically, one of my, it's about e-learning scenarios and interactive storytelling. What a surprise. So one of my subscribers sent me a question and I thought, this is solid. I know it's cross-platform stuff and you're like, whoa, I hope Susan doesn't mind that I actually just took her question and I'm doing a live about it. I just think it's a really great question. And also I think that, to be honest, this is something that I've struggled with and, this is my advice because I've lived it. So hopefully this is helpful. And her question is actually quite long, so I had to write it out because it's pretty detailed. So, Susan, thank you. I will make sure that this answer gets to you. So, question. I find most of my clients don't know what they want, so I walk them through my portfolio of options so they see what is possible and then decide. For many of them, this is the first time they've seen real e-learning. So how can I lead with a framework like you suggest I do? I want to offer my clients what they want and not make them feel like I'm limiting their choices, but at the same time, being able to have some predictability and consistency in the projects I work on, that would feel great. I think I want to specialize in interactive storytelling, but not sure how to make that transition without turning some people away. Susan. Can you resonate with that question? That's pretty tough, right? Especially because if I'm assuming Susan, because she has a portfolio and she has clients, she's a freelancer. And so this is the difficult choice here. I think the most actually important piece that she said is, she wants to specialize, but she does not sure how to make that transition without turning some people away. All right, that's the most important point as far as I can tell. It's the fear of turning people away, right? Okay, so, and I think that's what kind of messed this up a little bit. There's many factors that affect whether you're going to take a project on or not, whether you're an internal trusted advisor or an external trusted advisor. But let me just tell you the difference between a trusted advisor and a freelancer right now, okay? Because I've been both. So let's go trusted. Can you see that? Kind of. There's that squeak we love. Yay! Okay. So the difference between it's so weird. Everything shows up backwards on that side for me. All right. So trusted advisor versus freelancer. A trusted advisor is somebody who is going to ask a whole bunch of questions, and then based on their experience, they're going to say, this is what I recommend. And you are the trusted advisor and people will listen to you. And examples of trusted advisors are doctors. It's actually kind of funny how much gravity doctors hold without, sometimes you're like, okay, did you get a second opinion? Because maybe it's generational, I don't know. But anyways, trusted advisor, right? They say something, you're like, yep, okay, I believe. I will do that. Versus a freelancer, a person who is like, hey, I got skills. Anybody got stuff? Okay, I'm super skilled. I can turn around fast. I can get this done for you. If not, I'll learn it on lynda.com or LinkedIn Learning now that it's called, right? Which has happened. So this is the difference though. is a lot of people who start off business on their own or just run a training department or an e-learning development shop or an instructional design department, instead of being trusted advisors, they think that being trusted advisors means that they cannot, that they have to build all the things that they say no to. Like maybe I didn't say that the right way. Basically what I'm saying is that just because you don't offer everything, that does not mean you cannot give people advice on what is it that they need, and then have the guts to say, I don't do that. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, what you actually need is explainer video, and I don't do that. I know some people who do. That's great. And when, and that also creates kind of like an opportunity for you to definitely solidify your skills and work on more things that you enjoy. Is this going to be easy? No. But think about it this way. So, because I thought about this and I'm like, okay, well, what's a good story that I could tell you that would help with this, right? Because one of the things you're like, yeah, but they're going to feel like I'm telling them no a lot, or they're going to feel like I'm limiting their options. Like, I want to see the oyster that is the world of e-learning, right? No, think about this. Okay, so one of my neighbors, I live in a really beautiful neighborhood and also surrounded by elderly people who need help with computers and internet and all those things. And so because I work from home, I'm here and I'm friendly, and everybody comes and asks me for advice with their computer. So one of the ladies wants a new computer. So she came up, she goes, okay, Anna, I heard you help other people, so I was wondering if you could help me get a new computer. And I said, sure. Okay, what do you do? What do you want? Why do you want a computer? What's the, impetus? And she's like, well, I have this really old one upstairs. I'm like, okay, so, all right, but what do you actually do on this computer? What are you trying to solve? Because I see she actually has an iPhone, right? So I'm like, so what is it that you need a computer for? She's like, well, I like to read emails and the phone is really small. And also I like to stream music. My phone does that for me. And also I basically look at YouTube videos. And I'm like, okay, so I think the only thing that you need to do is access the internet and basically have a big enough space to read. And I'm like, you just need a tablet. And whether that's a Mac tablet or some other tablet, whatever, right? Based on what I think, or just a little Chromebook, whatever. I don't think she even needs a keyboard, really. Or maybe she needs a USB, whatever. I gave her like two options. I said, get a tablet or get a tablet with a keyboard. Now, this is what let's say you are in the position where you're the tablet seller, and after you've done your due diligence, you ask the questions about what are you trying to accomplish? What's the problem you're trying to solve? Because they're coming in with a problem. They're not coming in with, I want to buy something. They're coming in with, I have a problem, right? And so one of the things that you do is you figure out what is the problem they're trying to solve. And then you go to your skill set, which at this point, what you're going for is a T-shaped skill set, right? Which is that quite a few things about quite a few things. That's what makes you a trusted advisor, because you know what's out there, it's possible, what kind of questions to ask, what kinds of, where to direct people, so that you've gathered this knowledge, but you've also gone deep on a couple of things. So Susan, you might know that somebody needs an explainer video after they tell you what they want to accomplish. You might know that they need a job aid. You might know that they need a manual. You might know that they need a VR experience. But what you're trying to do is figure out from all your knowledge, your generalist knowledge, and the trusted advisor piece, that you can say, okay, this actually what you have, this is something that interactive storytelling is a great fit for, and this is my specialty. I can help you with that. Everything else, out. What that does, like when I told my neighbor, I said, you just need a tablet, she was like, oh, okay. She can still go around, shop around. She can still go and ask other people. But it takes the pressure off her, because she wanted somebody who knows what they're talking about to give her some advice. And when these people come to us, and I think what you said is that this is the first time some of them have seen real e-learning. When you say they don't know what they want, so they'll look at it, how are they making this decision? Is it based on the look and feel? Is it based on the context? Because I can make, as you know, you can do this too, you can make a multiple choice question look like one is a comic book and the other one is an interactive video. So how that is being judged, that's a false kind of assessment as far as what's going to add value to solve their problem. So we have to position it the right way. So when I say start with a framework, I'm leading with that framework after I've already asked questions saying I can solve this person's problem. I can engage people the right way with this interactive story. And then I'm not reinventing the story framework. I'm just going, here we go. Here it is. Do you know what I mean? So when I say lead with the framework, it's almost like there's a step or two before that to make sure that what you're delivering is awesome and it's aligned with that person's needs. Because I've been there. I always say that's kind of the dangers of like scenarios is because they will fit anywhere. But do they really add the value that you need them to, or could you have spent your time invested in something else that would have better solved or more quickly solved the problem, right? That's what you're going for. So you're always asking those questions up front. But one of the things that's going to be hard for you is to say no. So think about, you go to your dentist, and you're like, oh, I wish that dentist, if he finds out that you're remodeling your kitchen, and let's say he's kind of into interior design, he'd be like, oh man, I should have given that person some advice because I could have made an extra $400 on some advice. No, they're just like, yeah, go see an interior designer or a construction people who know, IKEA, whatever. So the thing is that we have to start saying, hey, if I want to get good at this, that means I'm going to let go of some darlings. I'm going to have to say no. And really what this is about niching. The world we live in right now, in this e-learning universe, it is foggy. There's people, things, software talking to each other and there's no boundaries. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But most times I think it's bad because everybody is here and nobody goes deep. Nobody goes deep on something and just really starts saying, this is what I'm going to hone my skills in. And see what you said, something, I think you said, predictability and consistency. There's something beautiful in that because you can say, oh man, this works. Now I can be creative within these constraints. There's no more stress. Like when I first went freelance and I was pitching projects to customers, I had this giant slide deck of all the projects I had done and all the ways that you could use them and all, I still contextualized everything, but then I was leading with choice. And as we know, choice is that people aren't coming to us for choice, they're coming to us for advice and options. So think about it that way. And when that happens, yes, you will still have some people that are like, hey, I have 400 PowerPoints. You want to convert those into e-learning? Those people will exist. And guess what? That's fine. And sometimes you have to take those projects to pay the bills. But the more you refine your craft, the more you put things out there that attract the right people, and the more referrals you get from the people who are, whose problems you're solving in the right way, the more of those people you'll accumulate and start coming to you, because that's really the goal, right? Instead of you going out there saying, hey, do you want this? I think you might like it. People say, hey, I have a problem and I heard you're this good problem solver from this other person. I wonder if you could help me. And that's really where you want to be. Do you know what I mean? So I hope that is helpful to you, Susan. I'll make sure that this makes it on YouTube as well. For those of you who said you wanted to have some captions, it doesn't happen in live video, but I'm sure it will soon. I'm sure there's an upgrade, but this also gets posted on my YouTube channel, so there you can turn on the closed captioning to see the words. Now, as I said at the beginning, before I forget, go to elearningsecrets.com to register for my webinar coming up, which is more about not necessarily this stuff, but more about interactive storytelling, how to really get deeply into it. and just the things that I've learned. It's my lessons, it's my struggle, but then also just what is it that makes it awesome, right? What are some strategies? And it's just way simpler than we actually make it out to be. And then the other thing I wanted to do is just have a little shout out to Sybil and Amy, because you wrote me. Thanks so much. Like, if people subscribe to my podcast and listen to me, I tell them, hey, reach out, say hi, tell me about how you're doing. And they did. And I appreciate it. That's super awesome. Like, you're talking and you're hoping people are out there, and they are. So Sybil and Amy, thanks so much. And Susan, thanks so much for writing in. I know you didn't probably mean this to be a live video, but hey, here you go, bonus. So I hope you have hope this was helpful. If it was, share, my friends. Share it with somebody who you think needs a little bit of this perspective shift, because I think this applies even to people who are working in an instructional design department. It's your approach. So it's not like your frameworks, the back end change, but the process changes because you're problem solving first. And my suggestion is always keep on asking questions until you are clear on how you can help that person. Because the other challenges is, if they don't know what they want, and if they don't know which problem they're trying to solve, you will never produce a solution that satisfies an ambiguous problem. So you'll never meet the metric, and they'll never be satisfied, and you'll never, do you know what I mean? Like, you got to be clear on that problem and what they're solving, what that vision is, so that you can provide the best solution for it. Without it, it's all a fail. It's just ambiguous, and nobody will ever be happy. So you can't satisfy a customer who doesn't know what they want. So have a wonderful rest of the day. Share this, like it. Let me know in the comments how you feel. I read all of them. All right, take care, friends. Bye.